Hey, good morning, everybody. It has been a while since I've done a video in the car, and they always get such good reviews. So let me tell you what I just came from. Came from a restaurant. Won't say where, won't say what town. Small place, about 1,500 feet. So the first question I asked was, let me see your license. I look at the license, it says seating for 12. Seating for 12. And you can see by the layout, corner unit, and then the walls have been built out to accommodate a kitchen. So I go back in the kitchen, and there is a massive hood system. An ethnic restaurant and a massive hood system. Beautiful, brand new. When I started interviewing the seller, I discovered that they had paid and had the financing on the hood system from the landlord. Now the building has just recently been sold to a new landlord. There are 24 chairs in the location. The rent, because they're financing the hood system with the landlord, is $3,500. Normally you want to see rent in a restaurant between 6 to 8%. So do the math. I asked the lady, the husband and wife actually, what was the average price per plate? The average price per plate is $20. They only serve lunch and dinner, and they're only open 5 days a week. So when you do the math on that, before they even open the doors with $3,500 a month in rent, they're losing money. On top of it, it is a ethnic restaurant, and it doesn't necessarily jive with the palate, so to speak, of the people in the community. That's the reality of it. That's not judgment. That's not, wishful thinking. That's just reality, and you have to kind of look at it. And I basically said, you're going to sell this thing for an asset sale. And yeah, they paid about $150,000 to build out this brand new restaurant. And they might, if they're lucky, get 30 to 40. But realize that, the financing on the rent will adjust down to probably the market rent. But with that number of seats, it's untenable as a restaurant. It just won't work. I kind of scratched my head in retrospect and said, why did the landlord put that tenant in there? Well, the reality was the landlord put the tenant in there and financed the hood system because they were prepping to sell the building, unbeknownst to the tenants, and under my suspicion. Two, it didn't cost them anything to put the hood system in, and the unit next door is a kind of a GNC. It's not a GNC, but it's kind of a health food business, and then the unit after that's kind of a general retail business, so they could move the walls around in theory to expand the hood system and do something with it. So they basically financed the hood system on the back of the tenant who was building out the restaurant to live their entrepreneurial dream. It is super, super important when you're a business owner for the first time to know your KPIs, know your key indicators, and where you need to be on each of those expense lines. Like, what should your rent be as a percentage of revenue? And then do the backward math on how many customers and meals you need to serve a day at a certain price point just to pay the rent. That's before we look at electric, insurance, utilities, labor costs, and then rising impact items like inflation, etc. So we do that for people. If you are thinking of buying a business or entering into a business or just starting one, I welcome you to either spend some time on my YouTube channel where I've got some of those KPIs laid out by category, or call me and I will share that data with you. This particular situation should not have happened. A, it's got 24 seats, licensed for 12. That's a problem. B, there was no way at that rent rate they ever will make money in that small of a space. They're going to have to knock the unit down, change the concept, and probably get up to at least 85 to 100 feet in the current economic environment with the inflationary cost pressures on cost of goods and labor to make a go of it. it's just a sad situation, an interesting situation. I don't think it's something that I'm going to be able to help anybody out, particularly because of the build out of the location. My next call is going to be to that landlord tenant rep and give him my feedback. But call me with questions, 321-287-0349, or email me at mike@tworld.com.